pastors. Yes, I'm a pastor. Oh, that's cool. I go to this church up on the hill, or I go to that church in the valley, or I go to that church in somewhere, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. And then, but we never really get into the depth of what it means to be a pastor. They never stop and say, oh my gosh, you're a pastor, you're a man of God. I've got to, let me tell you the dream that I have, or the vision, or this verse that I was stuck on, or this thing that's going on in my life, or, it's like, wow, so they never really get into, we really never get into what it means to fully be a pastor, what it fully means to be a Christian. So this is what my point is today. And this may be just for one person, or maybe for several persons. When you get saved, and God comes and He changes your life, you're like a new watch. You're a new, beautiful watch, and you look good. And people can see from afar, you look good. And it looks nice. And on the outside, you look so nice. On the outside, you know exactly what to say. On the outside, you know exactly what to do. On the outside, just if I can tell people that we're friends, and on the outside, you look really good. The problem is that we get stuck in the redundancy, and we don't realize that, we may look good on the outside, but sometime that we don't remember or we can't recall, the battery died. That excitement isn't so exciting anymore. That moment of, oh my God, one day God's going to call me home and I'm going to wake up in heaven's glory and streets of gold and mansions and all of these wonderful things, and those that have died before me, it's kind of gone. I'm just saved. I'm just saved. And if you look at me from afar, I'm all right. I know when I'm in trouble, I pray to God. And if something bad happens, we run straight to the altar. I'm all right. I'm okay but if you start to take a really good look at me, you're going to notice that the clock isn't ticking anymore. If you really stop to sit down and you talk to me long enough, you're going to realize that I'm not as happy as I'm portraying to be. From the outside, and if we just pass by, and if we just go quickly, you're going to say, did you see what they were wearing? That's a nice watch. But you would never know that their watch hasn't been working for a long time. They can't tell you. They don't know what the signs of the times are, because the battery inside of their walk with God, and they don't know when. I don't know when I stopped getting excited. I don't know when I stopped getting excited about church. I don't know when I stopped getting excited about putting my dollar in the offering to further the gospel of Jesus Christ. I don't know when I stopped praying, when we went from an hour to 40 minutes to 15 minutes to 10 minutes to 3 minutes to 1 minute to absolutely no minutes. And I don't know exactly when I stopped, but somewhere along my walk, the battery died. And Jesus comes up and He says, hey man, you're my child. Come here, I want to talk to you. You're my child. And you begin to waste God's time with these stupid questions. You begin to waste God's time with these questions, and He talks to you, and God's like, but baby, we went over this. We went over this part. You know that every word that comes out the mouth of the devil is a lie. You know that you're beautiful because I created you in my image. You know that I've sent my spirit to break the yoke of the enemy. You know that I'm listening every time you open your mouth. You know I'm making a way where there is no way. You know that I live in the back of the desert as well as the front of the desert. You know that I will spring up a well in the midst of a place where there is nothing to drink. You know I'll grow a tree if you need a tree to sit under some shade. That's the kind of God I am. Then why are you wasting my time with these questions? And the people, we put a front to the people, because the people look and they say, man, you look good. And then they move on. And you look nice, and now you got a good family, and you got good kids, and you got a good job, and you got a nice house, but they don't realize that inside, the battery stopped working. I don't exactly know anymore what God is saying. I can hear Him, but I can't make out the words, because I'm saved now. Don't get me wrong. If I die today, I will go to heaven. I will go to heaven. I am not a bad person. I'm not. But somewhere along the line, it just stopped being exciting. It just stopped being emotional. It just stopped being a point of overcoming. Don't you feel like sometimes, there's a verse that says, from victory to victory. From victory to victory. There's been times when I've read that and said, all I see is from battle to battle. That as soon as I win one battle, you know what happens? I have to fight another one. The moment I pay one bill, there's another bill that's due. The moment I don't worry about one child, I got to worry about the other one. The moment that I think everything's all right with this friendship, then another friendship goes awry. The moment that I think everything's all right with the vehicle, then I need tires. And then when I get new tires in the windshield, and then realize you just get beat down by the battle, and you no longer say from victory to victory. Now you just say from battle to battle. Because though I may look good on the outside, inside the battery has stopped working, and if you look really, 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 really close, you're going to see that something just don't add up anymore. Now, my point of the story here today is I want you to know that you have a relationship with a Father, with a God, with the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I think tonight, I want him to just come in and replace your battery. I want you to start hitting on all cylinders again. I want you to stop thinking about if you're going to fail the test and start thinking about passing the test. I don't want you to keep thinking about the battle, but I want you to think about the victory. I don't want to think about how many times you got beat up, but I want you to think about how many times you survived it. I don't want you to think about how many bills you have to pay. I want you to think about how many bills God has paid for you over the years. I don't want you to think about where your babies are going to go. But if he saved you, he can save them. I don't want you to think about the scars that are the wounds that are on your body. But I want you to look at the scars that have healed over the years. See, scars tell you I've been through something. I've done something. I've been in some battles. I've been in some wars. I came close to my last breath. But somehow I made it. I survived it. Somehow the wound, after a while, the new skin starts to grow in and the old skin starts to scab over, and over a period of time it turns into a scar, and it don't hurt anymore. It don't hurt anymore. Sometimes I gotta say, where did I get that bump from? Where did I get that scar from? I don't even remember. It was such a long time ago. But I want you to start thinking, if I made it through that, then I can make it through this. I don't want to just look good on the outside. I want to feel good on the inside. I want to know that I'm going to make it. I want to know that I'm going to soar with the eagles. I want to know that when God calls my name, before I take my last breath, I'm going to be able to say to the people standing around me, can you see it? Can you hear it? Can you feel it? Because that's how close I am with my God on the inside and on the outside. Can you say amen? And I want you to just think for me that we made this choice. Sometimes it feels like we went from one prison to the other, but we are in a state of freedom. We are in a place of victory. You know what they call you when they're in trouble? Because you a fighter. You a battler. You a survivor. You've been there and done that. You made it through some things. They don't call someone that ain't been through nothing. They don't talk to somebody that ain't never had no problems. They don't go to somebody who ain't never they go to you because they want to know, how did you survive? How did you make it? What did you do when you were in my shoes? What did you do when you were in my situation? What did you do when you thought you weren't going to make it? And then you tell them the story of your scars. And now you kind of say, wait a minute. I am a survivor. I am going to make it through this. I'm not cornered. I'm not beat down. This is not my final round. This is not how I'm going out. This is not the life that I had planned for myself. This is not the vision that God gave me. I am not the tail. I'm the head. I'm not at the end. I'm at the beginning. I'm not at the bottom. I'm at the top. I'm not alone. I'm with somebody. There's a spirit. There's a God. There's a weapon. There's an anointing. There's everything that I need. Do you know that if whatever you need isn't invented yet, God will cause somebody to invent it? They did come out with it. That's exactly what I needed. I needed one of those. I need that's going to help me in my prayer, going to help me in my reading, or going to help me in my study. So as we come to a close here, and Bishop played something beautiful. I'm a fan, you know. I have no talent, though. I couldn't beat two sticks on a plastic bucket and make sense of it, but I'm a fan. I enjoy it. So I want to challenge you. I want to talk to you. I want to be real with you. One of the points to my story here is Nicodemus considered himself to be saved. I'm saved. I'm a teacher of the gospel. I'm saved. But somehow, over the span of time, his battery went dead. Over the span of time, he said, I want more. I want the time to be more accurate. You know, there's an old saying that says, even a broken clock is right twice a day. I don't only want to be right every once in a while. I don't want to just be right because I'm lucky. I want to be right because I'm a child of the Most High God. I want to be right because God told me to go this way. I want to be where I'm at because God told me to go there. I want to say what I say because God told me to say it. I want to do what I do because God told me to do it. I want to be where I'm at because God said be there. So Nicodemus is like, you know, what do I got to do, man? I want this. He said, what? And Jesus said, but you got to be born again. Now, you know, I'm talking to us. I'm talking to us here. I'm not at a youth crusade. I'm not at the prison. I'm not at some stop gang violence thing. Man, I'm here in the house of God. I'm here with God's people. We come together every week because we want to hear our orders for the week. You know, I'm not at some battered women's shelter. I'm not at some homeless shelter downtown. I'm not preaching on a corner to people that don't care about who God is. I'm preaching to us. And I'm telling you, man, you look good on the outside. You look good. You look like you got it together. But I've been watching you, baby. I've been looking. I can see that I look just a little too long. And I see that something's broken inside. Something stopped working. Something needs to be restarted. I need something to be replaced. I don't want to feel like this no more. Or act like this no more. Or be like this no more. So Nicodemus says, I want more. And Jesus says, well, you got to be born again. So my question today is, would you like to be born again? Would you like one more time to just say that prayer? Remember that prayer when you got down on your knees and you said, Lord, you forgive me of my, and you know, someone had to lead you because you were in so much junk. You couldn't even talk for yourself. You were in so much sin. You didn't know what the right words were next. So someone said, say this after me. Don't speak in front of me. Don't speak in you, but say this after me. And you know what? When you say it, they said it so clear. But when it was your turn to say, Father, forgive me, it came out all muffled and teary. And when you didn't understand what you were saying, but somehow God knew your heart. And as you said that, He began to replace some things inside.